This is going to be a very laid back video, but I wanted to do something a bit more special for Christmas, but also something just more relaxed so I don't get burned out. This year I ordered a bunch of Xbox games because, well, why not? So for this video, I just plan on unboxing them, and at the end, I'll pretty much talk about the channel and how this year went for it. This video also gives me a chance to test out the somewhat old Sony camcorder I have, as normally for live action video I use my phone. So I thought, why not give this camera a shot, no pun intended. In order to dress up the scene a bit, in the back I placed a portable heater, but just to disclose, they're not sponsoring this video. Let's get unboxing. Okay, so to start we have Bayonetta and Vanquish, two games I'm mildly familiar with. While I've never tried Bayonetta in the past, I used to have Vanquish on PC, and while I didn't get too into it, or that far into it either, I'm willing to give it another shot this time on Xbox. Now, when I initially found this copy, I was really hunting for Bayonetta itself, but they had this dual package, so I thought, why not? Bayonetta looked interesting to me, but I'd never played it before. I was actually at one point almost thinking of getting it for Wii U for the sake of why not. But my gamepad screen is cracked, so Xbox it is. Here's a shot of inside the box. It's one disc and just installs both games from said disc. Better yet, it's Xbox One X enhanced, which means I can run it in 4K. Ultimately, I have faith that this time around I will really enjoy not only Vanquish but Bayonetta as well. Next up, we have Resident Evil 8 Village, another title I once had on PC but could not get into, so I'm hoping this time around I'll like it more, and so far I do. I plugged it in and was very impressed with the graphical fidelity on Xbox. I have it in the favor resolution mode, but even then it still will at times run in 60 FPS, which is very surprising and also very cool to see. So yeah, I'll be pretty excited to finally play this one, as I do want to see where the story goes from Resident Evil 7. I'm also sure I'll have a good amount of fun with the mercenary mode as well. This title, like many other games in this video, I believe also runs at 4K, so the amazing visuals are now incredibly sharp and even more detailed looking. Before we wrap up, the game box came cracked, oddly enough, and here's an inside shot of the box itself. Okay, so next we have Stray, another game I had no idea was on Xbox until recently, and also one which I'd been wanting to play but never got quite around to. So I'll be excited to play this one, as I've always been a cat person. As far as I know, it runs more than fine on the Xbox One X, so this would be a more than enjoyable experience. And here's a shot of the inside of the box as well, with a pretty cool looking picture in it. And next up we have Hogwarts Legacy for, of course, Xbox One. Now this game is different, as I didn't have too much interest in it until I remembered it was on the last gen Xbox. So I looked into it and people seemed to like it, so I picked it up, as I do want to give it a proper shot. On Xbox One X it seems to run decent enough. It's not like it has the best of graphical fidelity, but it seems it will be fine. I'm excited to check it out and experience Hogwarts in the massive fashion that this game offers. Lastly, here's a shot of the inside of the box, but yes, I'm pretty happy to be starting this one after all this time. Next up is Left 4 Dead 2, which is one I actually used to own on 360 way back in the day. I lost the copy, so I played it on PC instead and dumped tons of hours into it. As to why I rebought it on Xbox, I really couldn't tell you. I just wanted to play it on there just because. Luckily it is Xbox One X enhanced, so it runs at 4K, which means the visuals will be pretty damn sharp. I guess I just like the way it feels on Xbox, or at least as of now I prefer that. It's just a weird preference. And now here's the inside of the case. Next up we have Red Dead Redemption for the Xbox 360, another one I used to own but since then I've lost. And after beating Red Dead 2, I wanted to play the first one, but I never really got to it, and I don't really know why. Now, here we are all these years later, and I can finally do so. Now, as of recording this, I have tried a bit of Red Dead 1 so far, and I like it a lot. I like the more arcade feeling shooting, as I do feel it's more snappy. I'm sure I'll enjoy it more as it goes on. And here you can now see the inside of the box. Lastly, we have Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, just one title in the handful of original Xbox games, backwards compatible on Xbox One, and presumably Xbox Series. So a little fun fact about this one. I'm relatively familiar with it in the fact that I know at the very least it is one of the best Splinter Cell games in the series. I was familiar with the 3DS version a little as well, so of course I tried out of curiosity, but it didn't last too long. I quickly realized that the home console or PC versions are the way to go. So yeah, I'm excited to check this one out. It kind of just popped into my head this December, and I figured why not buy it and give it a shot this time around. I'm sure I'll have a fun time with it at least, or a better time with it than I did the 3DS version. Like I said, minimum editing, so here's some Left 4 Dead 2 gameplay on the Xbox One X featuring my cat as well. Later on this December, I'd go on and buy the 360 version of Black Ops 2, as well as Dying Light 2, that being the Xbox One version. However, BO2 is digital and Dying Light won't arrive until after Christmas, so they will be left out of this video. Let's go over the channel for the past year. Overall, this year was a pretty cool year for the channel. Pretty much all of my videos were all the new, more stylized, scripted, and more efficient content that I make today. Whether they were reports, mid-movie reviews, or just smaller ranting videos. I'd argue this is pretty much the permanent direction for the channel. And I want to say after SNES Classic, I really only had the energy for the EDP video, and that was it. Now I understand that not everyone has the time or feels like watching a 30-minute long video. 10 minutes definitely seems like the sweet spot, not only for me, but for you as well. There still will be 30-minute videos, but only for the topics that absolutely need it. So after that SNES video, I was pretty burnt out, and that's why I think it was great to come back into the swing of things with the short 3DS videos. But that burnout was really why the content was at a minimum for a couple months, as I was just not feeling it. Not to mention I have a lot of projects I put on hold that I do want to start up again, most of which are still stuck in their scripts phase. Anyways, this coming year year, I plan on focusing pretty much on 3DS content for the time being, and then afterwards, I want to do some Xbox One X content as I do really like the console. In terms of views, things did relatively well. Most of my videos got over 100 views, but there are some that didn't. 4 out of the 13 videos I made did not make it over 100 views, which is fine, honestly. That's better than I could have ever hoped for. I also want to say that this year, my content involving actual live filming went up as well, as some of my last few videos this year feature a good amount of live action content that I filmed myself. I plan on picking up the video making after Christmas, but for now, in case I don't see you until after the holidays, then have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.